Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here, basically, we are discussing another topic that is city creation. City creation, basically, we are discussing another topic that is India account. India account, basically, Amazon account and SBI account. And after 2 days, basically, the big earthquake is going to come to India. So that is the topic, basically, which we are discussing. In this, basically, one of the person told that one of the person basically was traveling from satellite. He saw Sunil R. Nair, basically. Then he told that Sunil, basically, you got the job, basically. You started earning the money, and then basically you done the marriage, basically second marriage, and then basically you got the you basically become the father. That means you got the post of father, basically. So Sunil Arnar basically told her, no, yeah, basically still basically I have not got. So satellite group basically asked few questions basically to Sunil Arnar. He asked basically that, yeah, basically India land basically is not giving job to you, right? Basically, then he told that yes, basically India. Sunil Arnay told that yes, basically India is not giving the land. So here they told that basically what India land like most, basically what they like. So Sunil Arnay basically started thinking here, basically what basically answer he should basically give. So first basically watch this song, basically. गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया So this was song basically. So one of the satellite person basically asked the question, what India likes. So Sunil basically thought for 4 to 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Then he got one word basically, that was cricket. For cricket basically they can die also. They can take anyone's life also. I had taken one example basically. Bangalore basically one girl basically was having AIDS, but the boy basically was not having AIDS. So they basically planned marriage basically just for cricket basically. After that, boy basically died. How? His generation was ended because cricket basically never leave the sabut basically. Proof basically they never leaves. So that was Bangalore basically. So they told that basically we have given him AIDS also, and basically we finished his generation also. And at last basically when he got the information that he have AIDS and his Nasbandi was done by first marriage group, he died basically. He was not able to handle the situation basically. He got depression. I don't know what disease basically he got, and he died basically. So that is cricket basically. So Sunil Arnar basically told that basically cricket is the answer basically. India basically likes cricket basically. So there are basically more than 3,000 stadium basically in this India basically. So cricket is the stuff basically which Indian public basically like most basically. Then after that basically satellite group basically told you only one word basically, that was okay. After that basically he left. After that basically he left. Cricket basically he heard basically. After that basically he left. And example basically he taken this also basically. And this is real example. Now basically again back to our topic. So one person told that, yeah, he told that basically power companies these, power companies these, power companies are that. So one person basically asked the question. The ladies basically gets the energy. They are basically getting from same land, or basically the land is totally different because their body structure, everything basically each and everything basically is totally different from the men basically. So that one of the person told that basically for ladies basically, because previously when the world was started, it was not like that. So mostly basically it might be common only. That vegetable basically energy is there because blood group basically are same for all basically. A blood group basically girls also have, boys also have, and other group is also there. They basically also have. So one person told that, yeah. So one person told that from girls' energy basically what are the human needs basically which might be getting created. That basically some human needs might be getting created, or some it might possible that basically ladies group basically are into the lots of creation basically. Big post also basically ladies group basically have. Even ladies group basically has become prime minister also. Current president basically is ladies group. So from their energy basically anything basically can be created basically. And they get energy also. So one person basically asked the question: is it like that basically? For example, India Prime Minister. So India Prime Minister might be getting some different energy basically. Then he told that whatever thing basically other people basically are having, that only they are having basically. They are basically not having some special like Russian group basically is having. Russian army groups, European army group. They basically their entire culture basically is totally different than the other world. Basically. And in America also, it's like that. Basically. When America president basically moves from America to India basically just taking because I am in India, so I can take example of India only. Just a minute. When he moves from India, sorry, move to India, even water basically they takes from America basically. So that means they have the special. They are basically not human clones basically. Few people basically told that few people basically are special. So that treatment basically are also done specially because they think according to what they consume as a human need. So one person told that whatever thing basically they eat or what drink basically according to that only basically they think basically. And it's American president basically. Whatever decision he takes, it is going to affect directly to India. Why? More than 5 crore Indian basically are staying in America. So it's going to affect to 5 crore people. So Indian public only basically takes care of it. Why? Because if he takes some dangerous decision, then basically India have to basically run from America. They basically have to came back to India because that decision basically are up to that level. Basically. That decision basically are up to that level. Basically. So Indian people basically also take care of American president. Why? Because if anything wrong decision he will take, but mostly basically they never take the decision. Why? They have the perfect data. They have the perfect data. Why? Because if they don't have the perfect data, then who might be having? That is also question basically. The product basically which is going to launch in India basically in 2015, it launches in America in 2005 only. So you will basically believe basically. So whatever product basically it's going to launch in India basically in 2015, it has launched in America in 2005 basically. So this is difference basically major difference between India and America. But lots of people says that. the power supply which America takes basically for the computer. For example, America basically have around 950 crore computers basically. So their power supply is given by the Indian group and Canadian group basically. And Canadian group basically example we have already taken. Basically. So in India also there are many lands basically which are connected with the computers basically. You can't able to believe it basically. Then one of the person told that can't basically use the sun solar system for a computer. That also basically lots of people might say. Then one of the person told that that basically will not work basically. Why? Because it's connecting to the universe basically. So if it's connecting to the universe, then one of the person told that basically why how the Earth planet has created. You can create exactly same as energy basically which Earth planet is generating in sun solar system. That is not possible. Yeah, practically it is not possible. Practically it is not possible. So slowly basically you can try that basically, but that is very difficult basically. You can't create duplication in Earth planet. Basically. That is the main thing basically. So Earth planet basically whatever system basically it's having, that system basically you can't create in sun solar system basically. You can create basically, but something basically you will might get missed basically. Why? Because it's a connected connection between universe and Earth planet. But your sun solar system is not connected with the universe. So that is the major difference between this all thing. So just so one person told that the power supply basically is so powerful, so powerful. If anything basically happens to power supply, no, the world basically immediately basically gets ended. But that will never happen. Why? Because it's controlled by satellite group. Ultimately, final decision satellite groups only basically takes. Satellite groups only basically takes the final decision. So the last word of the satellite group was okay. After that, basically he left. Basically, I don't know what basically because cricket. What is that basically? The satellite group basically don't know. Satellite group basically asked that basically Sunil basically what India likes too much basically. So I basically sang that song. I basically one YouTube basically song basically is there. From that basically one song basically was there of Siddhi Vinayak temple. And then basically Sumila Nayak basically given the answer cricket basically. Cricket basically is a sports basically which India likes too much basically. Then he left basically by telling okay. So just say it. So one of the person told that each and every human needs basically in this world connects to the power supply data. Even one small tomato basically you are having the basically that is also connected with that power supply land basically, which is that 3 lakh multiplied by 3 lakh. And government basically always are in mess basically. Why? Because 3 lakh multiplied by 3 lakh, you just calculate basically what is the number. It goes to hexa basically. So that much combination basically to handle basically. Do you think basically it is possible for a human basically? Human can maximum remember 100 combination, 200. Chalo maximum 1 lakh combination. Basically. But this basically has never tested basically. Who basically remembers the most combination basically data. But that is not possible, yeah, basically. Because human maximum basically will remember that is 1 lakh basically. After that, basically, that is not possible. After that, basically you have to depend on storage data. That is storage device. If anybody changes that, then basically it will give the wrong result. So that basically is the difference between human brain and storage device. Sometimes basically the human brain's data also see few people basically change. Why? Because they have got that type of power and they think that basically human body is of their father. Each human bodies are basically their fathers. उनके बाप का है सब कुछ. So they basically literally change the human body brain data also. And that is basically against laws basically. Because sometimes basically it connects to brain stroke also. Sometimes it connects to brain stroke also. And that is also one of the stuff. So one of the percent of the brain stroke basically, one of the reason is this also. You are continuously accessing the brain of one person, that what that person is thinking, what that person is doing, what that person is thinking. So there is no meaning basically of doing this type of activity. Basically. You directly contact to nuclear power plant basically because they are only sending the data. I am not getting some special data from universe basically. They are only the sending the data basically. That is the thinking data. So one of the person told that one human basically is eating one tomato also. That tomato also basically can kill him basically. By chance basically the tomato energy which was tomato land which sorry the power of tomato basically which is getting power of tomato means the power supply for the tomato is getting from the particular land. That land basically is producing some less data basically. If it's less data, that means process basically happen something totally different basically process will happen. In that basically it might connect to cancer disease also. So possibilities are there basically because you can't say that what is going to connect to cancer because whatever combination basically is going to connect to your blood cells and whatever things basically is going to connect to your body parts and it is going to damage your body parts, that means it's a cancer. And damage means very badly damaged, so that connects to cancer only. And then basically it connects to entire body parts and spreads to entire human body. One person told that basically he basically gets lots of sound in ear basically. Slowly basically it spread to his head basically. Then basically he spread it to his body parts. Then basically he got some lakwa disease. Then basically his leg was damaged. Then his stomach was damaged. Somebody basically got the information. So they basically damaged his stomach also. Then basically somebody basically got the somebody basically taken the information of heart basically. Then they damaged the heart also. Then basically somebody taken his neck information. So they basically damaged his neck also. Then basically somebody taken his ear information. They basically damaged his ear also. Somebody taken the information of eye. They basically damaged his eye also. Somebody taken his skin information. They basically damaged his skin also. Somebody taken his leg information. They basically damaged his leg also. Somebody taken his hand information. They basically damaged his hand also. Somebody taken his back information. That is the back body parts information. They damaged his body parts also. That is the back body parts. So one person told that that type of information basically the North group basically is having. That is UP, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. Because they basically feel that entire India is unke baap ka. And they basically damage your body parts basically. Because one person told that basically head to access the head body part only UP, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh people basically can do. Nobody in this India basically can do that because their land basically somebody group basically has got this power basically. And that is Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi is also basically coming in Uttar Pradesh basically. But they basically don't do this type of activity. But then also basically you can't believe it. Why? Because there basically before temple basically there was masjid basically, mosque. So that was damaged, that was finished. And then basically Ram temple is created. So you can't believe on anyone basically. That group also can damage your head. That group also basically can damage your head basically. But they have got the Supreme Court permission. They got the Supreme Court permission. Why? Because they have created the temple. And they basically have the rights to attacks anyone's head basically. And they have basically done also basically. They have basically started head damage basically of someone basically. And they told that basically ho gaya. So that is Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. Somebody will tell that basically what is Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Bihar basically. So this is the example basically you just have to give basically. Then one of the person to say why basically they damage your head basically. You have basically done anything to them basically. You basically I have not done anything. Yeah. Then basically why that group basically is damaging your head. Then one of the satellite person basically told that basically we don't know what is Uttar Pradesh, we don't know what is Madhya Pradesh, we don't know Bihar basically. We just know one land that is our planet. So one person told that each state basically have got some authority basically, and they misuse their authority basically. I had taken one example of Bangalore basically. In Bangalore basically, that person basically got married to one AIDS girls, and his generation basically was also ended. And at last, basically, when he got the information, he died here basically by depression because who basically can take this much tension basically that he basically was not having AIDS, and he basically got the AIDS girl basically, and then basically he got generation end also basically. His generation was also ended by cricket basically, cricket group basically. So that person basically was not able to take the tension basically. He got into depression and he died basically in Bangalore. So on the name of cricket basically, what are the things basically happening? But there is no one basically who can ask cricket group. Why? Because they have given the stadium name Narendra Damodar Modi. They have purchased the government only basically. So government are also in their pocket basically. So who is going to ask Narendra Damodar Modi? Nobody can ask basically. Even Supreme Court basically can't do anything basically. That kind of power basically they have already got. So they basically can damage, they basically can do anything basically. Cricket group basically can do anything. They can give anyone's AIDS, then they basically can give anyone's generation and that is Nasbandi disease. Then after that basically what that person is going to do. One person basically told that basically if you are staying in this world, for what basically you are staying? One is for your family and one is basically for next generation. And one basically for that this everything basically you require the money. So everything basically is closed. So that person basically got into depression basically due to cricket basically. And that person the from satellite basically asked what India basically like. So I told basically cricket. After that basically he just told one word, okay. After that basically he left basically. After that he left. After telling cricket basically he left. After telling okay basically he left basically. Just went basically. So one person basically got into depression basically. And at last basically died. Poor person basically died here. Basically. World basically has not ended. That person basically died. Universe also not ended. But that person basically died. Just a minute. So cricket basically is very dangerous. Why? Because they have purchased the government also. Government को भी खरीद लिया बोलो. By giving the name of the stadium as a Narendra Damodar Modi in Ahmedabad basically I think it's Ahmedabad or Calcutta. Just a minute, I will just check it. Where is that stadium? Just a minute. I think it's in Ahmedabad. So that stadium is in Ahmedabad basically. That stadium is in Ahmedabad. So that stadium is in Ahmedabad. So one person told that for cricket basically that person basically died after getting depression disease. Then basically what he will do basically tell me. His money basically closed. He basically is not getting married. He basically his generation also basically ended. Why? Because he got AIDS disease also. His husband was also then. So what he will do basically? He at last basically got depression and he ended and world is also exist and universe also exist. That basically I can give you the assurity. Universe also exists and our planet also exists. Due to India. So one person told that up to this level basically they given the trouble. Up to this level basically they given the trouble. So just a minute. So one of the person told that for cricket is the stuff basically which India basically likes. India likes is cricket. After that basically he is that person basically left there basically from side right. Because he don't know what is cricket. He just want one word basically cricket. After that he left basically. He just told okay. After that basically left. So one of the person told that on the name of cricket basically they have done AIDS disease. They basically given AIDS disease to that poor boy. That person basically was not having AIDS. That girl basically was having AIDS. Then basically that girl basically was rich girl. So they basically finished his generation also. When how basically he tracked? When he basically got second marriage. And after that basically the family of second group basically told that basically Sunil basically have you done husband? Assume that basically that is myself basically, myself person basically, because I am taking just as an example basically. So nobody else basically is connected here basically. So I'm just taking as an example of myself. Sunil basically have you basically done Nasbandi basically? Then Sunil man no basically I don't have Nasbandi disease. They basically are doctors basically are telling that basically you had done Nasbandi long year before basically in Mumbai. And they basically given the name of the doctor also. Which was that doctor basically they have given the Nasbandi, they have basically done the Nasbandi because this type of Nasbandi this group only basically can do. That doctor is from Odisha basically. So that was shocking here basically how they got the information that Odisha doctor has done that basically. So that was shocking basically. So each state basically have that different style basically of doing Nasbandi. From that basically one of the person told that basically. So that was Odisha doctor basically. So on last day, Odisha is going to play main role basically, and India is going to play most important role in this universe. Basically. That much basically I can give you assurity basically, because this story is basically a real story of Bangalore city. If you want to verify that, basically you can verify it. But mostly basically that is a cricket. They finish the proof only basically. So they might have finished the proof also basically. We not able to believe it basically. That this type of incidents only, this type of marriage only basically is not happened basically. They will do up to that level data. And currently Bangalore is basically facing water problem. So that is basically some other problem basically. That is basically some software industry problem. Basically. In that basically entire Bangalore actually came. Just a minute. And in this basically entire Bangalore city basically came. So one percent of Sunil basically visited Bangalore also visited for because we are discussing about Bangalore. So 1% तूने मतलब तू बैंगलोर में जॉब के लिए गया था ना because it's a universe group basically they only speak in Hindi basically. So सुनील लाल ने basically तो हाँ मैं बैंगलोर भी गया था बट उन्होंने नौकरी नहीं दिया मुझे. I basically visited Dell office, I visited HP office, I visited Compaq office, I visited Polaris, I visited Accenture. देन बेसिकली आई मैं कैपजेमिनी गया, मैं एक्सेंचर गया, मैं पटनी गया, मैं आईबीएम सॉफ्टवेयर भी बायोडाटा दिया, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में भी दिया. देन बेसिकली मैंने गूगल में भी बायोडाटा दिया था. देन बेसिकली मैंने एमडॉक्स बेसिकली एक बिलिंग सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी है, देयर भी वहाँ पे भी मैंने बायोडाटा दिया था. सो मोस्ट ऑफ बेसिकली मोर देन 100 कंपनी बेसिकली आई हैव गिवन द बायोडाटा, बट नॉट अ सिंगल कंपनी बेसिकली given response basically. That is the Bangalore city. So just a minute. So 1% of that. That is Bangalore city? Yes, that is the Bangalore city. That is the Bangalore city. गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया. गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया. ओम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया. गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया. गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया. गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया. ओम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया. गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया. गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया. गणपतये नमो श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया. So you can just imagine basically about the Bangalore city. And this is fact basically about the Bangalore city. But the question is basically everybody are like that only. That is also basically you have to ask the question to yourself basically. Because all are not like same basically. One person like cricket, that doesn't mean that basically other person also might be liking cricket basically. He might not like the cricket also. He might be hating the cricket. Basically. One person like football. So another person like table tennis. One person basically like lots of football, but he might not. Other person basically hates the football basically. So possibilities basically are there. That basically is the stuff. So one of the person told that one person basically told you basically told that basically whenever basically you are reading MBA books, that time basically from that land basically Thousand City was created for the MBA book purpose. So from that area basically you are getting the power supply. So in sports also there something basically is like that. Because in one of the person told in sports basically what is the requirement? Then one person was told that basically in sports basically you must require lots of things basically. Education basically is nowadays most important basically. And you should be sports person basically. Whatever thing basically you have to do that is written and then basically that you have to do that is the sports basically. So for that basically one of the person told that which energy basically might be required here. Then basically the one of the person told that in that basically one is the bat and one is the ball. That basically most of activities basically are done from which body parts. So one person told that that is the hand and another is leg basically. And rest of basically are connected with head and leg basically. So one person told that basically that energy basically that group basically required. One is leg energy and another is hand energy. If that is damaged, then basically that person is out from the retired head from the cricket only. One person told that basically there was one player basically whose name was Raman Lamba. He basically died in the field only basically. He got a ball in his head basically and he basically died basically. That moment only basically. He got some head injury and he converted into coma and then basically he died basically. But he is a historical person basically and history never ends. So somewhere basically somebody group basically might be handling him for business purpose because nowadays basically everywhere basically it's business only. So cricket has also basically converted into business. Cricket also basically has converted. Previously it was not like that. Basically. Previous way, previous time basically it was a cricket basically. But nowadays, cricket equal to business. Cricket has converted itself into business basically. So there is no value of cricket basically. That basically also you can say it has only business. How much you are going to get from the cricket match? That's all basically. Few people basically just say that only. भाई कितना मिला? इतना. That's all basically. कितना मिला means how much we got basically from that match. That's all basically. He say that basically whatever expense basically is happening from the match, the police expense, the government expense, the pitch expense, who is going to take off basically? Anybody is going to give that basically. But he also basically might be correct. Lots of people basically takes holiday. I don't know what they else take basically. Then for one match basically they do that person's AIDS for one match basically. That person basically died from AIDS basically, and he basically generation was ended, and then basically got some nervous depression disease, and then basically died just for one match basically. We done that. So that comes to planning basically, business plan basically. So that the whatever thing basically you want to do from that cricket, that you should do. So for that basically you have killed that person basically, and his generation ended, and last basically he died also from depression disease. Basically. And he died basically. World has not ended. Basically. He died and world has not ended, and universe are also basically not going to end. That much basically I can give you the authority. Sorry, in bond paper. So universe will also exist and world will also exist. So it's for cricket basically nowadays people basically are doing up to this level stuff. Basically. So that has converted into business basically. Nowadays cricket has converted into business basically. So if it has converted into business, then there is no meaning of watching cricket only basically because it has converted into business basically. Then why you are watching cricket basically? Business means what? Faida. One player is going to win. In that basically one person got that if that team will win, then he is going to get more money. So that team only is going to win basically. Why? Because faida basically is there. Profit basically. Then why you are watching cricket basically? Because that team is only going to win. And then basically few people told that you forget that 95,000 crore basically which was collected. Yeah, that is also there here. So that is also business basically. Business arrival basically. Business basically what to say? Business enemy basically of American enemy. American businessman with American businessman basically. Of Indian businessman. So that's very bad thing basically. For business basically you can do up to this levels activity basically. More than basically I think 3,000 child basically got lost their parents basically. And this connects to like exactly same way the Bangalore disease basically the Bangalore person got AIDS and his generation was ended and he died from the depression disease basically. And then basically cricket group basically told that basically we are enjoying basically by ending anyone's generation by giving anyone's AIDS they are telling that basically we are enjoying. So on last day of world you enjoy basically. As in basically some after day basically the world will end basically. So you would enjoy that day also basically. So one person told them one person basically from universe basically asked the question. Sunil basically what you are going to do on last day of world? Assume basically somebody told that basically after a few days basically the world will end and it will end basically. Yeah. So he told that basically after a few days basically the world will end. So what you are going to do basically? So what basically would be the answer basically? So this basically we are going to discuss in later on video. So one of the person told that power supply basically will end basically on last day of world. Then one person from satellite told that that power supply is only going to finish you basically all basically. So that was very dangerous answer from the universe group, basically. The power supply which was saving our life, they are only going to finish as well. So 1% of the human body basically is connected with which land basically. If they will give little bit more temperature of power to your body, then what is going to happen? Just so 1% told that. Then basically what are the things basically going to happen? So one of the person told that what are the things basically going to happen? Then one person told that यार वो तो check करना पड़ेगा. That basically need to check. If you are getting this much power supply to your land, then what is the thing basically going to happen? Then one person told that basically how much power supply you give to each and every body is basically. That is also question basically. Because on the base of that only basically you are getting the energy. Then one person told that whatever basically you eat food, whatever drinks basically you do the drink, water, whatever thing basically you are drinking. According to that only basically you are getting the energy, na basically. Nobody else basically is forcefully dumping the energy basically to your body basically. That is also correct basically. That is also correct basically. Nobody is forcefully dumping any energy basically. Nobody is dumping forcefully energy to your body basically. You are basically creating your energy yourself. Basically. Nobody else basically is doing that basically. So that might be also correct basically. That is also correct basically. So that is also basically correct. So one of the person told that like this basically world is getting handled basically. And like this the world has created also. Like this the world has created also. So one of the person told that the world basically is up to that level basically the world has created. Right? So world basically has created up to this level basically. One of the person basically told that. One of the person told that the world has created up to this level. And that is already created basically. So one of the person basically told that basically if world will end basically by chance assume that basically world will end. So universe group basically is going to end the whole world basically. No basically they are not going to end the world. They are just going to end that 3 lakh power supply data. That's all basically they have done their task basically. And in that basically 3 lakh it might possible that there might be some main power supply land basically which might be providing the entire data to 3 lakh data 3 lakh power supply data basically. So they are going to end their main power supply only that's all basically everything is done. This connects to one person basically want to do marriage, but another group basically is telling that basically we will finish that person basically but we will not allow him to do second marriage. So that person basically told that For that, basically, we can do one thing. Basically, we will finish his income only. So if he will not have the income, then basically what basically how basically is going to do marriage. So that was basically the idea. Basically, the same idea basically connects here. Basically, the main power supply basically will get end on the last day of world. Basically, so assume that basically that land basically somewhere in India. So 1% of the main power supply basically we're talking about. Yes. So in India basically we are what is that? Where basically that land basically is there? The main power supply getting to giving to the whole world, that is the 3 lakh land basically. Are you sure basically you are telling basically in your proper sense basically? One of the person that told that also. Then Sunil Nato told that yes basically. So where is that land here? You are telling that basically you are not getting job basically. But you are, the main power supply is in India only. Then you basically must get the job basically. Because the country basically who's having the main power supply, their people basically always gets the job immediately basically. On immediate basis. But there basically we are not getting job, that means there is some problem basically. So one of the satellite person basically asked this question also. Sorry, one of the person basically from one department basically. They asked the question. They say, Sunil, yaar, kahan pe ho? That land basically is where basically? Where you are telling that basically that is the main power supply of the world. If that power supply will get off, then whole 3 lakh land power supply will get off. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.